Howdy everybody, and welcome to my review over the Exo toy. It is designed for cylindrical body parts. That's as specific as I'd like to go on YouTube, which hates everything I do. But it is designed for cylindrical body parts, and it's a really neat design. It's a hands-free design, and pretty much everything about it is adjustable. So what this is designed to do is you strap this thing onto yourself using the ribbon, which we'll get to in a second. So you wrap this thing around your waist, and then this is all held in place while you can slide yourself into the sleeve. And then the idea is to use the motion of your hips and the rocking of your hips to slide yourself in and out of the sleeve. So instead of having to have hand to that area contact, instead of using a sleeve that needs to be moved up and down, the idea is to have hands-free pleasure. No need to touch yourself. It's completely designed, it's really designed to be friendly to trans individuals who may have dysphoria about touching that area, but that's not really the only way you can use it. It's fantastic for pretty much anybody that wants hands-free pleasure, which is pretty much everybody, really. So let's go over the basics around this toy. Essentially, the Exo comes in a couple different parts. We have the abdomen piece here. We have its ribbon. We have the sleeve itself. Let me see if I can get it off for this review, maybe a non-starter. Okay, welcome back from our hopefully short hiatus because I couldn't get this off of the abdomen plate. So you have the abdomen plate and the ribbon. You have the actual sleeve itself, and then you have the little connecting pieces. Essentially, every part of the Exo is designed to be very, very flexible, very, very accommodating to your own body shape and anatomy. And it does this through pretty much a really cool modular design. So we have this. This is the abdomen piece. This rests against your abdomen. You stay put or you're going to time out. This rests against your abdomen. It is slightly curved for more of a comfortable fit. It has this little, like, I want to say it's foam padding here. So you're not just like resting up against plastic. It's a nice foam padding. And then we have these little things here. 8 little squares. And essentially what these 8 little squares do is give these 2 little pegs a home. Depending on your height, your torso length, where you want to wear this, etc., and, you know, the size of your cylindrical object, your sleeve might need to go up here on the highest pegs, or it might need to go down here on the lower pegs. And it pretty much allows you to move the little sleeve wherever you need it. Speaking of your cylindrical object modifications, hey, stop that. We have the actual design of the little clasps themselves. I don't know. I know I have pictures that are really clear, but I'm guessing on video this is a little not so clear. But essentially, these little things can get really, really tight or all the way loose, depending on how thick your cylindrical object is. You can have them all the way loose. It'll even go looser if you're bigger because they're not connected to anything. And if your cylindrical object is smaller, this is hard to do both at the same time, but essentially they fit into themselves and essentially clasp it a little bit tighter, so you'll still get a nice snug feel no matter what the size your cylindrical object is. It's designed for your body, which is cool. Those are his little plastic thingies. This is the sleeve itself. I'm going to turn it inside out because it does that really nicely to show you the texture. Does have a nice texture to it. It feels really good. Feels really cool on the cylindrical object also. That is now my favorite way to refer to that part of the body, and I'm going to stick with it for like a week now. So essentially you snap this guy into the here however you want to snap it in. Once I snap it in, it's kind of hard for me to get out. You're supposed to use your thumbs and push on the back side of it once it's in. These will snap into place and you push. But for some reason, my little like feminine and or weak thumbs are not really doing it. Maybe I needed a bigger thumb, but it's just really not, it doesn't pop out easily for me. The founder taught me a trick. You can place this up against any counter and just press it really, like the edge of the counter, which I can't do in a video, but you press it really firmly against the edge of the counter and it'll effectively force them both out and it'll fall out easily. The last part of adjustability we need to talk about is the ribbon itself. So the ribbon is like huge. Hey, the ribbon is like huge. It's still going. It's, I think, about 90 inches in length. So it's not a short ribbon. It was designed to be wrapped twice around the body in order to use it. So that was designed for a 45-inch waist. However, for my awesomely larger bodied individuals, you can totally relace this with a different ribbon if you want. Both sides do allow for a relacing. So you can get a longer ribbon if you need to. And for my lovely smaller bodied individuals, this can be cut. You can easily cut the ribbon as the manufacturer did and make it shorter and tie it off at a place that works better for your body and isn't. This wraps about 4.5 times around my partner, which is huge, but we could easily cut it and have a much smaller one. Also, final part of the modular, easy to put on this, is these little ribbon straps. You tie the ribbon into the strap and then you snap it in. So now it would be fastened to your body. Then you would get erect, your cylindrical object would get hard, and then you would snap this in, you would lube the cylindrical object, figure out where you want to stimulate, and snap it in, which I will do at this point now. Okay, now it is strapped in. And then pretty much, since this, as long as you have this tight, you need to have this really, really snug. This ribbon needs to effectively be, it needs to be cutting, not cutting into skin, but it needs to be snug enough that even if you're a very small-bodied person, you can see like the lumps of skin around it, like a muffin top. It needs to make a muffin top in order to be snug enough, because we need this to stay in place. If this doesn't stay in place, this whole thing's gonna move and we're not doing nothing. This really needs to stay in place. So it needs to be like making a muffin top. It's so snug on you. If that's hurting, I recommend making sure the ribbon is flat, or you may want to upgrade to a thicker ribbon. However, it shouldn't hurt, but everybody's different. Maybe it will hurt you. For us, it was mostly just a, wow, this is very snug kind of feeling. And once you have this super duper snug, effectively when you move your hips, it will slide your cylindrical object inside, back and forth as you move your hips. It's much easier to see in the manufacturer's images and GIFs, but essentially as you rock your hips, it effectively moves the cylindrical object with your hips because they're attached. So you will slide your cylindrical object in and out of this sleeve. No hands required. I recommend positioning this near the frenulum of your cylindrical object because that has the most sensation to it. If you need more sensation, try adjusting these little doodads, making it tighter for you. Maybe that will give you more sensation. You also can move your hips at a different speed to give you bigger speed. Only thing I can note is when you're first learning with this guy, I really recommend, nope, see, I'm never gonna get it out again. Really recommend working on your core strength because that's what's going to determine how long you can use the Exo. So something about using your hips and your core to thrust into an object requires having strong hips and core if you want to go at this for a half an hour. So just something to keep in mind. It may not be an edging toy for you at first, but you'll actually get stronger while trying to simultaneously use this longer, so it's kind of cool. That's really about the gist of the review. It comes with a neato bag. Ignore the stuff in it. That is all from like an advanced review copy that's not applicable here. But it's a really cool bag. Zips up, whoop, goes in. Super easy. Branded, is see-through as you can see, so keep that in mind. It will not be like hidden, but it keeps everything really nicely together. Like this is a good bag. When do toys stop coming with good bags? It infuriates me. Also, it comes with the instructions, which is pretty much what I just talked about, but not with me blathering on at you and somehow succinctly like in one sentence. So it comes with the instructions, including pictorial instructions that show you how all the pieces work. It also gives you more information, including, you know, it's got a little chart about how you clean everything that was included. And let's see, they've used as much recyclable materials and little packaging as possible. It all is made of body safe materials, which is cool. This is a plastic, I think. Let me double check before I lie to you. Yeah, this is silicone. I was like, it feels like silicone. This is silicone too. So you got all body safe here. No concerns on the materials at all. Pretty much, it's awesome. I love it. I love that it was created for trans individuals. That is unfortunately an under-focused market full of people who really could use toys that are designed for them instead of designed for the usual things or the usual copies of fake, realistic parts that don't really look realistic at all and don't even feel that good. So this is awesome. It feels great. It works really well. It is so adjustable for your body. And we were just expecting it to feel good, but it's actually like it feels good enough to reach the end point and not very difficult either. It's like 5 minutes and you can easily be making like a mess. You know what I mean. I can't say it on YouTube. It's the worst, but you know what I mean. It's good enough to get to that point and to get to that point relatively easily. It does a fantastic job. I have no complaints. Everything's great. Thank you, Exo, for making this because it's really something the community needed and it is something that's really awesome. It's going to be a good staple for us during pegging when we don't have enough hands to go around with what we want to be doing. So this will be basically another hand for us that'll make more pleasure for everybody involved. And like, who hates pleasure? No one. So check it out. It's a fantastic toy. I recommend it wholeheartedly.